What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Just back in another video. This is your one-stop shop for anime and manga. Let's get into it. I want to start by saying thank you to everyone for subscribing. If you're new here, you like my content, you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so I post another video. Also follow me on Twitter. Links will be in the description. What's up, y'all? It's time. So I do these videos every now and then. It's time to do just a little bit of my recent reads, like reading log, because it's been a while since I've done one of these. And I've been reading a few new things here and there, and I just want to put y'all on to what I'm currently reading. And also, I just like telling y'all what I'm reading because I want to know what y'all reading too. So let's get into it. The first new thing I'm reading is Solo Leveling Ragnarok. Now I am super excited. As y'all know me, I completely love Solo Leveling. Now this is slight spoilers, not slight. This is major spoilers. If you have only watched the Solo Leveling anime, or if you have not completed Solo Leveling reading it, then just might want to skip ahead in the video, because this one is a very spoiler heavy, because it does contain obviously some bits of the ending, and also contains things for Solo Leveling Ragnarok, which is the direct sequel of Solo Leveling. Ragnarok follows Sung Jin-woo's son, and he does have a son with Cha, which is my favorite thing about it. I'm so happy they got together, had a kid, and their kid does not have powers, but the world is under threat again. And the same thing goes on, where is the dungeons, people are awakening, but Sung Jin-woo's son, he does not awaken. He has to go fight, I think they're called the Interim. They're basically like gods in the universe. They like created everything, so Sung Jin-woo is all fighting them, and the world is left unprotected. Eventually, his son does awaken. I believe his name is So Jin-woo. I think that's how you say his name. So he finally awakens his powers, and he is an E rank, but little does he know he actually has the exact same powers as his father. So he is basically a second Shadow Monarch. Now, the thing about him is the fact that because his system works a little bit differently, his system works to basically like really cultivate his powers that he has, unlike Sung Jin-woo. Sung Jin-woo's system was there to turn him into the Shadow Monarch, while So's powers, his system is trying to strengthen the powers that he already has. In order to go save the world and obviously meet up with his father, So has to conquer the Shadow Dungeon. So he has his own personal dungeon that is basically he's gonna use to level up his own power. And not only he has to do that, but he has to just basically save the earth as well. You know, getting rid of the dungeons, getting rid of the monsters. And there are other things I don't want to spoil too much in Solo Leveling Ragnarok, because a big part of it is the fact that you don't really know what's going on with him, because he doesn't know what happened to his parents. I think he's like 20 or like 18, something like. He's a little bit older, so he doesn't really know. He doesn't know what his parents happened to them. He knows that they left, but he doesn't know like the reasons to left. He doesn't know what's going on. He does get information later on that I don't want to spoil too much, because I do want y'all to read Solo Leveling Ragnarok, because it is so good. It is just as good as the original Solo Leveling series. I'm so glad that it just picks up basically right where it left off. It does not miss a beat. The artwork is clean. The fights are beautiful. And overall, just the storytelling that I was worried about, that we may have, you know, like almost kind of like a Boruto situation. Because, you know, whenever they do like a sequel, and it's always like the children, where it's like, you know, it's going to be like Boruto, or it's going to be like Four Nights of the Apocalypse, where it's always not that good, especially in the beginning. Eventually, I knew it would get good, but I couldn't believe this. Ragnarok is amazing. Definitely check that out, and that's what I'm reading right now. Another series I want to put y'all on to that I really started reading, I really enjoy, is Moriarty the Patriot. So I started reading Moriarty the Patriot a few years ago, and I just dropped it because at that time, I don't know, I guess I just wasn't ready to really take on Moriarty the Patriot. It's very just long chat. I think the chat is about 75 pages each. Is very just heavy dialogue and inner monologue series. And at that time when I was reading manga, for whatever reason, I had like this idea in my head where I gotta bust out 20 chapters a day. So I tried reading 20 chapters a day of Moriarty the Patriot. I just got completely burnt out of the series. I always did enjoy it, but I just had to take a break from it. So now I picked it back up, and I gotta say, it's so good. If y'all don't know, Moriarty the Patriot follows Moriarty, who is the villain to the world famous Sherlock Holmes. So this is basically like his story, like his, like, you know, way that he grew to his power, way, and everything that he became. Instead, because everyone always knows Sherlock Holmes' story. So this is like the first story that I've really seen that focuses only on Moriarty. I do know Sherlock Holmes does appear later on in the series, but it's a Moriarty the Patriot for that reason. So if y'all don't know, Moriarty the Patriot, he is a noble, and he wants to get rid of the entire noble class in all of England, and he wants to just basically reset the entire government. He wants to do this because he hates all nobility. He hates how the nobles are just exactly what you would think of in this world. They despise the commoners. They just work people to the bone. They just do whatever they want, no consequences. They act however they feel like. So Moriarty does not like this whatsoever. So he's up to the task of basically just ridding the world of the nobles and just trying to reset the government so where nobles aren't going to have power, where everyone is going to be equal, everyone's going to be treated fair. Now, he is Moriarty, so he do gotta kill people to do that. So he is not afraid to get his hands dirty. He will do whatever he has to get basically all of these nobles out of power. My favorite thing about the series is like the length that he really goes to. Like you really see him do these little things here and there where while you're reading the chapter you don't realize, oh, that's gonna be a big moment. But at the end when he finally tells you everything that, you know, culminated in like his one theory or his plan, everything that he did makes sense. Like all the little nuances that he did, you know, he said this at this time, he gave this person money at that time. Everything he does actually has a little bit of meaning, and he's always according to his plan. Even when you think, oh, he's caught up, he's not gonna get out of this, every single thing is according to his plan. He is very, very calculated, and that's the one thing I really love just about Sherlock Holmes and like Moriarty in general, is that the way that they can just move throughout the world and just to be so calculated. This series is by far amazing. I really do enjoy it. I know they do have an anime of it, so definitely try out the anime. I really do recommend it. I watched a little bit of it, but I just chose that I wanted to read the manga because I'm a little better with the pacing when it comes to these type of series. If I just read it and I can just really absorb everything. I really do recommend Moriarty the Patriot because it's weird because we all know Moriarty is supposed to be Sherlock Holmes' greatest villain, but when you're reading the series, he's doing good. Like everything that he does, you know, all the kills that he does, all the little plans and the schemes that he has, is for the betterment of the nation. It just so happens that the means that he gets to the end, some people may not justify. So that's where the whole thing of Moriarty comes to fruition, where he is technically a villain. You're reading a villain's basically origin story, but he's a villain for a right cause. The next series I'm currently reading is called Animata. Now, I really fell in love with this series. This is basically Bakuman, but anime. Almost the exact same type of premise. I believe this series has 5 volumes. I know I've read the first one online. I'm definitely going to pick up this series. I think it's only 5-volume series. I really do enjoy it. So when I say Animata is basically Bakuman, but anime, it's the same type of premise where you have this girl who, she is a decent artist, not by no means crazy. She fell in love with one of the anime shows that she started watching, and she just fell in love with anime in general. But she didn't just fall in love with the medium, she fell in love with specifically the art of it. So she saw how the creators can just animate and just make fluid motions on the television, and she just completely fell in love with it. That drove her to be a animator, and that's what she wants to do. She wants to create anime, and she goes and she tries to work for the studio that created her favorite anime. Now with this, because she's not the best artist in the world, but she has a keen eye for detail. I'm talking about she can see the very fine details in like each frame of an anime series, and she's not even really trained like that. And because she has that keen eye for detail, you know what, the higher ups, they decide to take a chance on her, so they go ahead and they hire her so that they could work on these series. And she is trying to do her best. She is lacking a little bit. It's a nice slice of life series because she really is trying her best, and she is okay. She's not the, you know, most amazing animator, but basically the animation studio that she's with is like the top tier of the top tier. They're basically like Mappa and like Wit Studios, you know what I'm talking about? They are just some of the most amazing animators that there are in the industry, and she's doing her best to try and basically keep her position because they don't really get paid much, and it's really just tough grueling work. And I do love that the series shows basically literally like Bakuman, where it shows like the behind the scenes of like creating anime. And I really do love this series. I'm definitely going to pick this up. I believe, yeah, like I said, I think it's 5 volumes, maybe 6, something like that. It's definitely a nice short series. I read the first volume online, and I just completely fell in love with it because it's just a nice slice of life where she is chill. She's doing her best she can. She has all these hardships that she's going through, but she don't care. She's going to tough it out. she gets paid like $1 per scene, it doesn't matter. She's gonna do what she can. And that's actually my favorite part of the series that I read in the first volume, where she was taking so long on that one particular scene that she was doing that basically her boss broke it down to her. It's like, okay, right now you're not really getting paid what you should be because you're still a rookie. But if you were to really be getting paid and you're out of training, what you just did, we're taking like I think a week to animate that one scene, you basically would have gotten paid like $5 for that entire week. So that really just goes to show you like the unfortunately like the grueling tasks that a lot of these animators have. And I do really love just some of the more realistic things in this medium that we love, because we all here because we love anime and manga. And I love Bakuman. It was my favorite manga reading. So I'm really hoping that Animator is going to be one of my favorite mangas when it's all said and done, because I do have to read the other volume, see what it is. But I have high hopes for it. This one was a very, very good series. The last series I want to talk about is another one that I read, and that's called Home Office Romance. Now, this is a one-shot that was created by the author who did Sweat and Soap. And I completely fell in love with Sweat and Soap. This is by far my favorite rom-com series I've ever read. And I was hoping that it would just translate. I love this one shot. This is definitely gonna be probably my go-to recommendation to someone who wants to start like more slice of life rom-com series, because it was just so good. So Home Office Romance follows a teleworker who works from home. He works on his computer, and because of the whole lockdown, he has to start working from home. And he set up his whole, balcony. He made it like a beautiful garden, so it looks like he's outside. And he meets his neighbor, who she's a grad student, and she notices his garden, and she really likes it. And little she is kind of hitting on him a little bit. Like, she really does kind of like him. He doesn't get the hints because he's more of a recluse, and also because he doesn't want to he overthinks everything. So every little gesture that she says or she does, everything like that, he's always overthinking it, and he doesn't want to come off as awkward because they are neighbors, and that will be a very, very bad situation if things do go left. So the series is just a one-shot. It's basically like her throwing hints his way and him trying to understand it and trying to go with the flow, at the same time overthinking everything because he doesn't know like what is going to happen with them. He does obviously like her a lot. He does think she is very beautiful, and the feeling is mutual. So they're just there like casually like trying to date here and there. They're trying to feel each other out for a little bit, and that's the majority of the series. And it's just amazing because like you really see like their relationship grow. Even though it's just a one shot, that's just a testament to the skill of this mangaka, because he really just, I can't believe it. He went from just complete total strangers to now they went and they marry each other all in a single volume. And it really does feel cohesive. It doesn't feel like it was rushed. It doesn't feel like, there's a whole bunch of like, time skips and things like that. It really feels nice, smooth, and just like genuinely paced, which is very, very hard to do when you just have that one single volume to do all your stuff. And I can't believe it. It's really just like one of my favorite rom-coms. He has become one of my favorite manga creators as of right now, because Sweat and Soap is just that good. Probably it is the best rom-com series I've ever read. And as far as now Home Office Romance, I really do recommend it. It's a nice chill series, just one volume. You don't gotta worry about nothing. Just pick it up. And I don't even think it's out yet. I think it comes out in November. So I'm definitely gonna pick that up when it comes out. And I just can't wait, because I want to read more from this manga creator, because he just does relationships so well. His slice of life rom-com stuff is probably the best that I've read. So those were some of the series that I just want to put y'all onto, because I've been reading a few new things and I really do like these series. And I just want to put y'all on because I really haven't heard no one really talk about these series that much. So definitely I hope y'all enjoy this video. And let me know what y'all currently reading down in the comments. And definitely let me know if y'all like these series I talked about, or if y'all haven't heard of them. I just want to do my best to try and put y'all onto something that maybe you haven't heard before, because I do really recommend these. They are that good. Thank you so much for making this far into the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely, if you're new here, you like my content, you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so no post another video. Also follow me on Twitter. Links will be in the description. This is your boy Just. I'm off this.